Hi guys, so this is a simple case study of our journey to GraphQL at Adobe, and in this talk I'll be highlighting a few of our successes and failures along the way. So the flow of the talk goes something like this. We had a use case, we faced certain problems, solution came in the form of GraphQL, but now it becomes interesting. We had some problems again, despite the fact we were using GraphQL. Obviously, nothing is perfect, so were the problems. So we came to our solution again, we implemented them, and then we have the results finally. Yippee. So our use case was very simple. We wanted to redefine our user's experience by surfacing more data. So what our product at Adobe does is to provide a single social platform to our customers from where they can create a tweet, they can create a Facebook post, they can create an Instagram story from a single platform. So initially, the post, which we call as activity in our product, looks something like this. But now we wanted to surface more data in the form of the number of followers this particular user has, the various tags, the date of the post. We wanted to create a whole threaded conversation like the replies or the comments which this particular post had. We wanted to show whether this post has been liked or it has been read, it has been commented, etc. So we wanted to transform from something on the left to something on the right. Similarly for Facebook. So this required to fetch data from 3 different sources, which has been highlighted in the picture. We all know the pretty obvious benefits of GraphQL, that it replaces multiple round of trips to a single round of trip to the backend API. It solves the problem of bloating by getting the data in exactly the same shape in which we require, and obviously the obvious performance improvements due to this. So I'll be skipping all this in this particular video, and this is what our new architecture diagram looked like, and we had the pretty much obvious benefits like I mentioned before. But another benefit was that Redux was no longer required, because most of our state management code initially was concerned with mutating the data from the various different REST sources. But now, with GraphQL having the data in the right shape, we just have worked with a simple UI state, and Redux was no longer necessary. But the real fun begins now. Life is never so easy. When we were about to demo the new GraphQL and boasting off with all of it, our GraphQL query started failing, and we were like, we did nothing. We changed nothing at the backend. So why is it happening? And what happened was that one of our servers was rolled back to a previous version, and as a result, our GraphQL schema was now out of sync. So in this talk, I'll be highlighting the various problems we faced as we switched to GraphQL, and the caching problem, the problem which I mentioned before, and now our final use case and our final architecture diagram looks something like this. It had the obvious performance impact, like both the page size and the page load time decreased significantly. In the end, I'll be discussing briefly about the Apollo client and the Apollo server, and how these 2 things worked well in our use case and our case study. So the key takeaways were simple, like it decouples the client from the server, we can have on-demand data model definition, Redux was no longer required, and likewise. So this talk is about the pretty obvious advantages which GraphQL has to offer, but specifically it is about the problems we faced that when we switched to GraphQL and its solution. So